Welcome back to another episode of the Funeral Babe podcast. I'm Alyssa, the hot mortician.
I think that says psychotic mortician.
It does. I don't know if they can see that, but it definitely says I'm the psychotic mortician.
Not important. Doesn't matter. And I'm Christina, and I'm in all black. Again. Yes. Again. Episode 3, you've inspired me.
I don't understand.
This is it for me. I'm in it. I am in it. I am,
Two times in a row, I'm always in black, and now you are. It's so weird.
Maybe I'll change it up. But this
I'm
is,
rubbing off on you.
Yeah, you are inspiring. The whole vibe.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm liking it. Yes. So here we are, episode 3, and still talking about death, of course. What else is there to talk about?
I know.
So you work in the funeral home. You do everything inside, outside, upside down, and everything in between, which I'm sure we'll get into. And you know what happens to a body after you die. So my question to you, Melissa, funeral babe, is what do you think happens to you, your spirit, your energy,
everything
after you die?
Let's say this. First of all, for those who don't know what happens to your body after you die, usually you call a funeral home, and then we take care of your body and we do all the things that you might need for your services, that, embalming, dressing, casketing, do your hair, your makeup, we do all that stuff, So I know what happens to the body. They get like a full spa treatment. The embalming, definitely a pro.
How long does that usually take?
It depends. It could be like an hour, it could be 2 hours, you could have 3 hours. Like, it really depends on your case.
Okay.
But then what happens to like you is like the afterlife. Like, what happens when we die? Like, what do you think happens? And this is a question I feel like everyone has, like, everyone talks about it too, especially like obviously religion plays a belief and all these other things, but it's so much bigger than that and like what you think when you're around it, because none of us know.
No,
right? Like,
nobody
no
can really
one's
answer
died and
that
came
question.
back and told us what it's like on the other side. Right? Like,
no.
And then you look at throughout like the whole culture of just funerals, everything, how we've looked at death in the afterlife with like Egyptians and all that stuff. Like, we always honored our dead. And like, I was actually just reading a book about mummifying and like how it was to get their, I know.
Of course you were.
So weird. And like how like their whole thing was to get your spirit to the other side, like the afterlife and what they believed in. And then like at work, seeing all the different religions and everything, like where do you go? I believe, to be a funeral director, to be a mortician, whatever you want to call it, like, I truly believe, not everyone will agree with me, that you have to believe in something bigger in this life to do this type of work. Like, that's for one. So you have to believe that the body's going somewhere, because if you didn't, a dead person's a dead person. Like, that's how it would kind of be. And like, that's not what it is. Like, it to be sacred, it. And like, you have to believe that there's something in the afterlife. I just really feel like that. I've never met an undertaker who didn't believe in something. Where your energy goes and stuff like that is a big topic. What do you think happens?
I don't know. It's like you say, the religion aspect of it, of course, plays a role. And, obviously, like, we were taught to believe a certain way. We die, we go to heaven, and, and everything's good and great and grand. But I don't know. Like, for me, like, I'd just like to mess with everybody.
So you want to come back as like a ghost? Like, your energy's still here?
Yeah.
Like if you could live forever, would you?
No, absolutely not.
No, you wouldn't want to.
My time could expire. I don't need to be here. It's not that great here. It's great. No, it's wonderful. But
I know what you're saying.
No,
like, in the same aspect, though, there's this line, and it's like, to think that death is bad is to think that life is inherently good. And like, is life like that great? Like, it's great. I'm like, I'm happy here, like, it's cool.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, like, it's cool, but like, when it's time to go, like, I'm cool with it too. Like, also like, live now because whatever, but like, I'm also feel like there's just something on the other side.
I'm wondering if I have a more clearer grasp or like a better sense of it, because I get to talk to you every day, and we do talk about this often. Yeah. So it's like, I am more comfortable, maybe not, like, I don't, what's the word? Not empathetic, right? Sympathetic. Like, I could feel it through you, but I haven't experienced it. Like, you see it.
Empathy. is the one, I think.
Empathy is the one where, okay.
I should know that, but I think it's empathy. Like sympathy is like when you know the feeling.
When you actually experience it. So so I could feel like empathetically connected to you. And I feel like maybe because you also do, you feel so much emotion, and you are like, and I'm very fortunate that you get to be vulnerable, and we do talk about the real raw.
You're like my literal like human like trauma like therapist.
You just dump it onto me, and I'm just like, wow.
I remember one time I walked into your house and I just had like a total mental breakdown. Like that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough. But like, yeah, you're like my little support human.
But it's crazy too, because when you did come to I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's so crazy because on our day-to-day conversations, you talk about it so strongly and so like effortlessly, like this is such a normal thing for you to deal with it.
But like also death is normal. Like I have to cut you off. Like they cannot, like it happens every day.
I know, but then there are those things that hit you, or there's things that happen, and it does, it gets to you.
And it does, it bears on you. And like back to the whole thing with the afterlife, like I just feel like I feel like there has to be something more. I almost like, it's like you want to say I know there is, like because when you start to like almost feel it, like you just do. And there's so many different theories and different religions. I've been doing a lot of Hindu funerals lately. Okay, which is not something I've normally done. So like I'm really learning a new culture and everything when it comes to funerals, and their beliefs are absolutely like beautiful. Like there's just some things that are just so incredibly moving when you watch it, almost like a veteran's funeral. When your dad had the flag, right? You had to present that flag. It's like the most moving thing. And like in their culture, it's the same thing. And one of them is they put like a pot on their shoulder. They have to walk around the casket, and typically it's the eldest son. And there's water in it, and it drips out through a hole. And then after like the last, I think it's like 3 times, forgive me, I'm not positive, they break the pot over the shoulder, and that signifies the moment that the soul detaches from the body completely. And then
that's beautiful,
right? Like, like it's so in depth of like how like this is just your earthly body, like, you know. And we see that, like I'm a Catholic, you're Catholic, Jewish,
all the above.
I don't know, Lutheran, I don't know. My mom's your godmother. It's really confusing.
It's confusing to me too. It's fine.
Yeah. And then they do this thing too when they're at the crematory. They actually get involved in the cremation service, which is you know, like to me, I get so overwhelmed, and I still say it all the time to one of the operators there. Like, it's just like I always have tears in my eyes. Like the strength that these people need to be so involved, and like they'll press the button, and then in some cases they even open the chamber so that you see the flames lit. And like once they turn around and leave, they can never look back. Oh, you know, like to signify this earthly part is over. You know, and like it's so all these different religions, and like oh my goodness, that. Buddhist, same thing with the afterlife, and some Chinese, and I will say some of them is religion, some is like actual superstitions, but they do all different things. And one time I had to put so many clothes, like outfits, like 10 different outfits, jackets, reading glasses, newspapers, food, money, like all this stuff. It was like trying to shut a really tight suitcase because they needed it in the afterlife.
Oh,
you know,
I love
so
that.
Isn't that something where it's like, what do you think
that.
happens? Like, you know, like, do you think like what you're in comes with you in the afterlife?
No, I mean, maybe, but then I think you could like change.
Like, you think you can change?
Yeah.
I have 2 thoughts on all of it. One, sometimes when I dress people, especially men, like they're always in suits, and I'm like, you like don't want to be in like a tie. Like that's like the first thing men want to like loosen up. Like I feel, you know, and there's been times too where like I'll loosen a tie on somebody a little bit because I'm like, what if you can't? Like I don't, you know, I don't know. Or like, you know, and then some like women in like these dresses, and I'm like, I hope you can change. You know, like I don't think you're gonna want to wear that bra. Like,
can I just say how beautiful it is that that's where your mind goes when you're taking care of these people's loved ones?
Because
that you're
what
like,
if there is the afterlife? Like, like what if I get to the other side and I'm greeted by everybody? Which this is my other vision. Okay, wait.
I'm ready for it.
This is really like, okay, so something we do at work is we cut the clothes, like not all the time, but a lot of the time. And it's not just for like reasons like, oh, we're making our job easier. It's for other reasons too. So like we cut up the back a lot of times.
So you can't see it.
It like lays better on. Yes, it is easier to dress them, but like it lays on it better. We don't want clothes that are too restrictive and stuff like that. It lets you like mess with it a little more and make it look nicer. And even when things are like big, it helps with tucking and rolling, making sure it's a nice fit. Where if it's not, you can't, you know? So we cut the clothes. That's my moral. I feel like when I get to heaven, because like if there's a heaven, like, or the other side, okay? I feel like I'm gonna get there and everyone I took care of,
Has their butts hanging out?
not yet. They're gonna see me and I'm gonna see them and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh. And like, it's gonna be people like, I'm gonna all of a sudden know everybody that I took care of.
love
Like
that.
I'll remember
I hope so. I
all
really
their
hope
names.
so.
And they're all gonna hug me and thank me for like taking care of them because like I didn't know them.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna turn around and I'm gonna see all their butts and I'm gonna be like, I did that.
That's exactly what's
Like,
going to happen
you know,
for
like
you.
what if I did, or maybe you do just change.
I think they probably do, but I feel like in your scenario, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're all going to change back into their clothes.
I think there was like a
for
horror
you.
film too. Like at one point, Night of the Living Dead was at it. I don't know. It was like a 70s movie, I think maybe. But
feel like I would know
when
that.
all like they came out of the grave, like all the zombies, I guess, all the clothes were cut up the back. Like that's
That's real.
I mean, yeah, you
They
know,
got
I
that
don't know.
pretty accurate.
Like right on the money there. That or like, have you ever watched? I think I've sent you stuff. That woman Dolores Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she.
I enjoy her.
I can watch those videos and get so sucked in, and like
Yes.
it also like makes you want to be like her videos. I'm like live your life. I can't explain it. So her theory is that like your spirit and your energy goes up, and like when you get there, imagine it. Like we all suddenly know like everything. Like our energy is just completely in vibe,
yeah.
and like I know your whole life. Like there's no reason to judge you or to
Yeah.
judge somebody because.
You're all in the same place. You all made it, and you're all, you know.
Right, like you didn't like live, like you're not living my life. Like how are you to know, you know, why I make the decisions I make? But suddenly, when we're in like the next place, you know everything. Like you know why I was that way. Like you
Yeah.
see all that.
You could-
Everything makes sense.
Imagine if we could see that in like real life, how less we would judge people.
Right, like if you just knew. Well, I feel like the idea is that like you're not supposed to judge people because like you don't know
Exactly.
what they go through on a daily. You know,
Absolutely.
and that was big eye opening too. Like even in like with funeral service, like I say, people with all this grief, like they just have to go back to work the next day or something. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
Like you know, life just goes on.
That's it. That's literally it. Life goes on, and
I-
there's not, you know.
That's probably one of like the biggest awe factors for me to this day. Like no matter how much I do this work, how much I'm in death, it just shocks me that life just goes on. You know, like it just goes on. But like,
Well, because you deal with death every single day. You
Right.
literally deal with the end of people's life. Like that, their life doesn't go on. These people that you're dealing with, that's it for them. Like you're the last stop for them.
yeah, but everyone else has to just go on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it's crazy how like I don't know, you just have to keep moving on in life even after you have like a dramatic change. And then, you know, I don't know. Like do you think that like even like prayer, like when you pray, right? Like I feel like I talk to George, let's say, or whatever, a lot, like half prayer, half
Going back to the whole afterlife thing, you know, so many of us, when a loved one passes, will say, "Oh, if we see a red cardinal, that's my dad." You know, for me, I see
Signs.
blue jay. Yeah, so it's like there has, you know, if that's what we're believing in, then there has to be an afterlife.
Well, I would think so. Like, and you, for me, it's music. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
I
the
like, or
songs
sometimes
play.
I say things and I'm like, play this song and like it comes on.
Yeah.
When my friend's mom passed away, I was in the car and I was trying to do it and I was like, all right, what do you got to say to me? And I turned on the radio and the song was My Life Be Like, ooh. And like, it made me feel good though. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
like, afterlife, like you're loving it up there. Like, it's gotta be
Absolutely.
good. And you like, but what about if like you're not a good person? Do you think there's still...
I think there's only one person that's allowed to judge that, and I don't think it's either you or me.
Do you think you still think you end up in the same place?
That's between you and your maker, man. Like,
That's your idea?
Yeah, like I don't.
Sometimes I feel like that's like the reincarnation aspect. Like I don't know if that's
Oh, like if you're bad, you got to come back
yeah,
and do it
you
over
have to do
again.
it again. Like this isn't good. Like it's a lesson. Like life's like a lesson,
It's or a game.
right? Like what's
Gotta
one
get
thing?
the start over card.
What's the one thing I always say too? It's like life's not that hard. Like it's just
Not that hard.
It's really
yeah.
not hard.
But every time, wait, I'll be like complaining to you about something so minuscule. It'll just be like me in my head. You're like, you know what, Christina, life's not that hard.
Life's
It's
not
really
hard. Like
but you're right.
Like you live and then you just like die. Like it is what. So like
I
yeah.
mean, there's in between. but not.
There's like enjoyment, but like maybe if you just like were not a good person and stuff like that, like you have to come back and learn your lessons. And like little lessons too, like, you know, even like during this podcast, it's like you're pushing outside of your boundaries. You know, you have to grow, like you have to learn lessons about you. And back to what you had made a point before about like if we only knew in real life, like not to like to judge people, if we knew like everything about you,
story,
like instead of like, and it's like, well, that's how like you should treat people. Like you're never gonna walk in each other's shoes, so like just be the best person you could be. Like,
right? Always choose
why does
kindness.
that sound so easy?
It really is.
Like if you were just like the nicest person you could be,
yeah.
like, and if things aren't working in your favor, like if you're in a job that sucks, like, and it's making you in a bad mood, maybe you shouldn't be at that job.
Yeah.
Like,
there's other options.
Doesn't that just seem easy?
Yeah. It is. And there's obviously always like obstacles and situations, and like not that every decision in life is easy, because, you know, but you know,
I can't even get on the treadmill every day anymore. I'm like, it's a choice. It's just a choice. Like, but I can't. Like, obviously there's struggles and stuff like that, but
it's your choice. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
You're choosing
like,
not to. It's fine.
Like I feel like
life's
like
going on.
You have another, and that's another thing. Like when you put that into perspective and everything, it's like you put things off for time. Like, you know, I'll do it later in life or whatever it may be, and then maybe like in the afterlife, like when you get there, like if you didn't get to do it, do you think you get to do it?
Maybe I don't want to.
Right? Like I was thinking, like I'm not really big into like travel, like to like Europe or something, but I'm like, if I feel like I'll do that when I die.
Okay. Why not? Why not?
Like I'll be up there so I can see the world when I'm dead. Like I don't need to do that per se.
It'll be like, you know, remember those globes you had in elementary school? You like spin it and like you land on a spot.
Yeah.
You could do that in like when you're dead, but like with the real world.
In the afterworld, right?
We're going to Australia today, people.
Yeah, and like maybe you can do it with other people. Like when you get to the other side, do you think that you're going to see?
I'm definitely going to see my dad, George. There's people waiting for me for sure. Maybe not waiting for me, but like they'll be there when I get there.
And there was just a whole like trend recently on TikTok where people were like posting videos, and it was like bury me in my sneakers so I can play with my baby girl when I get there, like all these things. And it's like that was a big like I was thinking so much on stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, what are you going to do? And I mean, unfortunately, like recently, more often, I guess, than I would be able to count. But like when people die so close together, like even your dad and George were 4 years?
No, more than that. 7?
Oh, 7 years. 6 years. But like they were 6 years apart. And then like at work, like, I mean, 9 months, 11 months, within a year, within 2 years, you know, and I see the same. The husband, you know, passes.
The husband and wife always like.
My grandparents died 6 months apart.
Yeah,
my dad's parents. Like that's like it. They always said like a broken heart. I think they like had a stroke.
My grandma and Poppy did too. They were 11 months apart. 11 months, yeah.
So like it's like they needed that on the other side, and like sometimes I find comfort in that, where it's like there's other people there, and now that I know more, like I feel like when you get older, like you're probably gonna know more people on the other side. So it's like something to look forward to. Not like that you should like rush it or anything, but like. That there is that afterlife and something to look forward to in the future. Absolutely. I think so, at least. I hope so. Yeah, like I feel like, and then I also feel like at the same thing, like right, when you get to like the other side, I think that you will really just know everything and just have that like a level of like the deepest understanding of someone's soul and spirit, and you know, the veil kind of drops. Do you think our spirits are connected in the afterlife, or do you think
gosh,
like that theory that like we've lived different lives, and like you've been in my life, and like maybe you were my sister or like my mother, like you were probably my sister. I think I was a dude. Do you? At some point. I was definitely never a boy. Like, no. I don't know. I have a lot of masculine energy, though. It's so weird.
It might have trickled into you.
Like something like that. I think, yeah. No, I feel like maybe, or like my mother was something, and or like also the theory that.
With the birthdays?
What would like?
Like if you're born on the same day, like you. Oh, no, you and your grandma are the 23rd.
Okay.
So, like, you guys were connected.
All connected?
Yeah.
And, like, well, even like I said, like, my grandmother died. Like, did I come back as her? It was right before I was born. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, I think about stuff like that. Like, all the main characters come back, but, like, we're different just, like, people. We just keep getting recycled into the same families. Yeah, until, like almost like in the caste system, that's also Hindu, right? The caste system? Where, like, when you go up and then finally you hit the part where your spirit is completely aligned and you're in that nirvana or that heaven, per se, but you have to complete, you know, like your lessons. Like you have to figure it out here.
I'm okay with that. Like I think that this life has taught me a lot of lessons. I think I'm getting closer.
And like, like you're like, oh man, and like when the same issues keep presenting yourself, you're like, oh man, like I didn't get it right again. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And like that's the part. And like if you don't, like you're not gonna have that road to like, you know, contentment, as I always say. I don't know, like a form of happiness, I guess.
Well, but I guess if you don't, then at least you got the afterlife to go visit Italy and
Yeah, like I think there, you know, like it's something to kind of look forward to.
Yeah, but like also don't rush it.
No, I don't want to rush it. No, and I feel like when that time comes, like whatever, like well there'll be other people there. Or like, I don't know, the idea of it being black doesn't really fit for me. That's
like that's it, lights out.
I just can't. No, I don't see that.
No,
like you have to go somewhere, right?
And I do think that there are too many coincidences that happen, you know, with like the signs and stuff to just not prove that there's something else out there.
Something bigger.
There's something bigger than us.
Something stronger. And like even people who have like near-death experiences and stuff like that, like all those things, like that's, you know, they say that they see things, and like hospice nurses say that like patients will, you know, call out for loved ones or say they're seeing loved ones, like.
So that,
I guess it could be, you know, some kind of science
that's
scientifically broken down, but still I don't think that it's just lights out. I just don't see that being possible in any way.
I don't either.
Like the force of energy and everything else. Also, like I feel like we're too important. like we're important, but like everybody is so important. Everybody has like, everyone thinks as deeply as we do and feels as deeply and, you know, has all that. So it's like you have to have purpose. There is some kind of purpose.
Yeah.
You know?
Now and then afterwards.
And we're all in this together.
Until we're not.
Yeah. So, you know. Well, I guess we'll find out about the afterlife at some point.
Yeah.
I hope I make it there before you.
No. You got to do my funeral. There's no way. There is no way in hell that you can go before me. It's like whatever you got to do. It could be like in
what
50
if
years.
Like 90?
That's fine. Who else is going to do my funeral? Who else am I
I'm going to need
to?
like glasses and stuff to do your makeup and everything.
It's fine. I don't wear it. It's fine.
That's great. No, I just
It'll
don't
be easy.
I'd rather not live a day in this world without you in it.
Aw, you're so sweet.
Who would I talk to in the morning?
Nobody.
Nobody, obviously. Nobody has the time to like we do to talk about stuff like that. But all right. Until next time, you should like, follow, subscribe.
You should comment. You should do all of the above.
Share it with everyone.
Share, yes. We enjoy being here and sharing with you.
You're so lame.